Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Property Guide at ET Now. I'm Faye D'Souza. This is your one-stop guide for all property investments in India. First of all, thank you so much for your response to last week's episode on Tier 2 cities. We'll try and answer as many of those questions as we can on this week's show. Now, for those of you who haven't written to us yet, our email ID is at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to send in any question you may have about buying real estate. This week, I have a wonderful panel of guests, and we're going to talk about why it's the right time to invest in the property market and why they believe prices are climbing on their way up again. We'll list out growth drivers in the indoor real estate market, and we'll give you some investment options as well. And finally, we'll discuss Chennai, Pune and Bangalore. We'll tell you where our experts think you should be buying. All right, joining us today on the show, Pranay Vakil, Chairman of Paron Consultancy. Pranay, it's been a while. We finally got you into the studio. I'm very glad. Also, as always, from Delhi, Jayashree Karup, Head of Content and Research at magicbricks.com. Jayashree, as always, a pleasure to have you on the show. All right, so we've spent the last few months talking about the weakened property market in India, especially in our big cities. We talked about demand that was low, inventory that was piling up, and builders who were offering discounts. We're here today because our experts tell us all of that will soon change. And you and I, as investors and home buyers, should now move quickly if we have any hope at all of taking advantage of the current softness in prices. We're going to find out why they believe that and which markets really are seeing the most change in those demand numbers. Pranay, I want to come to you first. Is this true that builders are now gearing up to perhaps increase prices over the next 1 year by 15 or 20% to make up for lost time?
Yes, this is the best time of the year to really sell residential property.
Why is that?
It's before the schools reopen. If you want to make a change, this is the best time to make a change.
Okay.
So every year, you'll find that up to June and starting about February, March, you'll find that there is some kind of an increase in demand for residential property. So that we're going to witness. All developers obviously know about it, and they want to encash on it. There's another thing, and that's about the NRIs. Normally, they do some spade work in October, November. Then they visit India in December, January, February, and that's the time they close deals. So this is the best time of the year to really transact from the developer's perspective.
And from the other end of the table, what is the best time of the year?
Well, other end of the table, yes, because of the softness in demand, because of the input costs going up, and with the elections coming around the corner, the developers are saying, hey, let me not miss the bus. Let's kind of try and encash what we can. Not that they're reducing the prices left, right, and center. They're not. But in terms of grabbing the demand, in terms of cornering the demand, whatever they can, they want to do it at this point in time.
Jayashree, when you're looking at the website right now, when you're analyzing demand, what makes you believe right now that demand is going up, and what pockets of the market are you seeing demand go up in terms of ticket size?
Faith, there are both ends of the market seem to be doing fairly well in terms of demand, and there is a lot of supply in both. Let me put it like this. The luxury market, there is a big demand, and I see a lot of people, and this is something that we think our surveys are showing, that people are using this opportunity to upgrade into, these are end users, and they are trying to upgrade. For instance, if you've been staying in a 2 BHK apartment, it is a good time to go for the 3 BHK, because while, like Pranay said, values have not gone plummeting down, they haven't really risen for a year, and therefore this is a good time. Even that is, the 10%, 15% that you see annually rising has not risen. Therefore, this is a good time to buy. On the other hand, I see a lot of action at the lower end of the pyramid where affordable housing, especially in the suburban and peripheral areas where people can afford to buy or where projects are being launched, I see a lot of interest on the site there.
Jayashree, what is your advice right now for someone who's been watching the show for the last 6 months, trying to make up their mind? They write to us on a regular basis. Should they be going out right now and closing that deal? Is there still room for negotiation?
You can negotiate, but I think this is a good time to go and buy. Actually, this is the time when you should be out there looking at your properties, selecting your properties, whether it is from the websites, whether it's from your brokers. Go check out your properties, and if you see a property that you like, buy it now, because when prices rise, the chances are that if you've liked a property, you may find that you are edged out of the market because that has become more expensive for you.
All right, so when Jayashree says this is the time to go out and look, immediately after the show is done, you should step out of the house and start looking in property. But for someone who's looking to invest in this market, as an investor, Jayashree talked about the different markets. Now, we do, like you said, you do expect it to go up. Should I be focusing on the lower end or the upper end as an investor? Where do you expect the most speed?
It all depends on when you want to exit.
Right.
Because the more expensive the property, possibly more difficult to exit. So let's assume that you got 2 crores as investable surplus. It might make sense for you to buy 4 properties of 50 lakhs each, and then exit more easily than to buy 1 property of 2 crores each. I think to spread your bets is the best thing to do. And there's something which I want to add to what Jayashree said, that if you are looking for property, try and look for a ready property.
Okay.
With 23% of the stock that's unsold, it is possible for you to go select what you want, look for the key that you want, and then do it. Because then all the ifs and buts of buying are eliminated.
Also tell us this, as an investor right now, if I'm looking at buying in India, should I be looking at the big cities where the ticket size is 1 CR or 2 CR, or should I be looking at smaller cities where I can buy at in a good location for 50 lakh rupees?
Sometimes I have found that exit is very difficult in some of the smaller cities. Across the board, tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, it's very difficult to exit in the sense that you have to provide for 6 months. Whereas in good locations, in tier 1 cities, you can possibly exit in 2 months.
All right, of all of the tier 1 cities, which one is your favorite right now? Which one are you most bullish on?
I would say the western suburbs of Mumbai continue to grow. They've grown in value in the past. The closer you are to the treks, the closer you are to the infrastructure, it's the best.
All right, so you're the first guest to say Mumbai instead of Bangalore, and you're the first to say West Mumbai instead of East Mumbai. Jayashree, I also want to ask you this. You did say there is room for negotiation, but a lot of our viewers write in to tell us that one of the things that they look for is a builder with a reputation to deliver, and those builders are not offering negotiations at this point. They're not open to negotiating their rates. So what should we do when we're choosing? Should we be willing to pay that extra premium and right now close a deal with a reputed builder?
If you find the right property, I would say yes. If the builder has a certain value, there is a secondary market sale of the same property that is at a much lower price, which is why I keep coming back to do your research, talk to your brokers, find out the same property on the websites as well, because chances are that you may find the same property at a lower price, even very, very premium properties from developers such as DLF in Gurgaon. I see that the secondary market, there are very good deals coming into the market. That is where you should be negotiating.
All right, so negotiate, look for builders or look for buildings that are almost complete. And of course, Pranay, they're telling us that he's a little partial to the western suburbs of Mumbai. We have a few questions I'd like to answer. Maruti has written in, he wants to buy a 3-bedroom apartment in Hyderabad with a budget of 50 lakh rupees. Please give him some options. Jayashree, do you have options for him? 50 lakh rupees, 3 bedrooms in Hyderabad. Where can he find it?
You know, Faye, Hyderabad is one city where we are extremely bullish on. Prices seem to have more or less bottomed out. I don't think it's going any lower than this. And at 50 lakh, he has plenty of options for a 3 BHK apartment. You have Kompalli, Manikonda, Kukatpalli, Uppal, Nizampet, a lot of options where he can buy properties from about 1,400 to about 2,000 square feet apartments. He needs to spend between 32 lakh to about 48-50 lakh, and he should be able to get good apartments.
All right, Hyderabad market options. Do you have something to add to that, Pranay, for Hyderabad?
I would say that if you can add a few lakhs and go for Banjara Hill,
it's more than a few lakhs to enter Banjara Hills at 3 bedrooms.
Maybe you then going for 2 bedroom instead of 3. See, if you are an investor, if you want it to really appreciate very fast, then there's nothing like some of the very good locations there, traditionally very good. I mean, over the period they have appreciated.
Time for me to take a very quick break, but when we come back, we'll have a discussion about the Indore real estate market and find out why it's hot right now. Don't go anywhere.